My name is Richard James and I'm the Commercial Director of Richard James. Truthfully, my first job ever was selling candy floss on Barry Island Beach during the holidays of being at art college. But my first sort of really proper job was working in Browns in South Molton Street after I finished art college, which was an amazing experience. We weren't accepted very well at the start, actually. People thought that we were coming in using the name of Savile Row to sort of better ourselves, if you like. But it's not. We just came into Savile Row to do it in a different way, and we opened a very small shop there, which was quite special. It was like much brighter than the shops that were there at the moment, and it sort of made people think about Savile Row again. And I think we just helped start the revolution that happened in Savile Row. Just by modernising it just very slightly. But I mean, we're very accepted now and we're part of the establishment. We went into Savile Row 20 years ago, and at that time it was a very sort of, I can't say it was a sad street because that's not really fair, but it was a street of fantastic tailors seemingly making clothes for older gentlemen. It didn't have any sort of youthfulness about it whatsoever. It didn't feel modern in any way. And we came in and just did it in a different way. We had a brightly lit shop when everybody else had sort of quite dark shops. A lot of the windows were still sort of translucent, so you couldn't see in. And they didn't open their shops on Saturdays, and they did everything which was so old-fashioned, And we just came in and turned that round a little bit, but not because we wanted Savile Row to particularly change, just because we just wanted to do it in a different way. We respected the street totally, and the way we did it was a good way, And now Savile Row is vibrant, and you see all kinds of people walking down the street, and all ages walking down the street, and I'm very proud of the fact that we've helped do that. There's a few people that have been sort of like quite important in our history, actually. I mean, our first Bespoke customer was Viscount Linley, the son of Princess Margaret, and he was fantastic at the start, and he's still one of our best Bespoke customers. I've got to also say that Elton and David have been amazing supporters of this company. They've been there for about 15 or 16 years, and they've been fantastic. The thing that happened once, which just made me think that we were going to become somehow part of the establishment, was that Hardy Ames sort of got out of his limousine and walked over to our window, looked in the window and sort of shook his head, then walked in, had a little look round and said, "Oh, clothes for Rolex wearers," and just walked out again. But he had a little sparkle in his eye, and after that he invited me to all the shows that he used to do. He used to do fashion shows every 6 months across the road in his big building, actually. And I always thought that that was the first stage in us being sort of accepted in Savile Row. I've got two pieces which I think are lovely, actually, and I hope they do well. The first one is this, which is quite a simple suit, quite a nice modern suit, actually. It's not too clever or anything, but it's in a Prince of Wales check. It's got green in it, which is quite odd, I think. But it's very much in the spirit of Richard James. It's just got a little bit of eccentricity to it, but it's still just a very sort of classic piece. I think that's always going to be quite a nice thing, And the other one, which I'm very proud of, is this, which is covered in dust at the moment. And this is a blazer in a very, very fine fabric, which you can actually see through the fabric. It's so fine, actually, and there's no lining in it whatsoever. There's no interlining. There's nothing. It's just fabric, and I think that's a gorgeous piece, actually, and that's something that we think we will sell and sell and sell. Well, as you know, we've got a business which is quite small, and we're quite expensive. We're not stupidly expensive, but we always want to be sort of accessible. But we are quite expensive, and Marks and Spencer's came to us to see if we would be interested in doing something with them, and they wanted to do an English suit that was less expensive, and we liked the idea of it because we just like the idea of being accessible to more people. And also Marks and Spencer's is an iconic brand, and it's quite an honour to be asked, and we're glad we did it because it's selling very well as well, actually. I think it went very well, actually. I think it went well. We had very nice response at the show. We had very nice reviews. I always think that you can do better next time, but I think it was great. It was fantastic. It was a very, very good start for us, I think. Tailoring has changed quite a lot recently. Actually, it's got much lighter, and it's much sort of lighter inside. The details inside a suit are different, actually, and I think wool has had to follow that sort of trend. So wool is getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And I mean, when I first started, wool would be twice the weight of that. Now it's an amazing weight. It's something like 180 grams, and it's just basically a very, very beautifully conceived fabric, which is as light as possible, which makes it cool to wear in the summer. We also sell in Hong Kong, and we're trying to open a store in Hong Kong, which hopefully will happen, and that'll sort of take us into China and hopefully Korea, so we'll see.